The Minnesota Twins just claimed Dennis Santana off of waivers from the Braves, and I'm confused. Let's talk about it. So, it's not only that, by the way, the corresponding move to signing Dennis Santana is that Royce Lewis will be transferred to the 60-day IL. A lot to uncover and unpack here. So if you do enjoy Minnesota baseball, Twins baseball, conversations, news, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, let me know what your thoughts are on either of these moves, either Royce Lewis going to the 60-day IL or signing Dennis Santana for the Twins. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this move. So I want to start with Royce Lewis. I think that is the bigger piece of this puzzle than Dennis Santana, and I don't love this move. I'm really confused by it for quite a few different reasons, but again, we'll cover that a little bit later in this video. First, Royce Lewis. So in the last, 5 or 10 videos that I've done over the last 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of it was still centered around Royce Lewis being the backup for Carlos Correa, right? Carlos Correa is obviously the shortstop of the near future for the Twins, of course, signing a 6-year deal. Like, he's really good at leadership. A lot of these guys are super excited to have him back, right? I'm personally not a huge fan of Carlos Correa. I would love to see Royce Lewis play a lot more, but of course he's been injured, and that has hurt him a little bit in that regard. And I think this injury probably wouldn't have even happened if Carlos Correa wasn't here in the first place, but I digress. I'm a Royce Lewis fan. Anyway, in the last 5 or 10 videos, like I said, a lot of it was still focused on Royce Lewis being a backup to Correa and getting significant amount of playing time still, either at second base or when Correa becomes a DH one day, or if he even goes to third for whatever reason. I know that was a possibility for a while. I didn't quite understand the significance of this injury, maybe as well as it was talked about, I think is probably the best way to say it. Obviously, he got hurt, I think, in last June, maybe, or so timeline. They said that in 3 weeks after his surgery, he was already walking on crutches. He was significantly improved from his previous ACL tear back in the minor leagues. Things looked really good. And obviously, the recovery time is the biggest thing. You want to make sure he's healthy. But being put on the 60-day IL means he is going to miss the first 2 months of the season. And I kind of expected that. Like I said, I think he's still the backup of Correa. But now, being put on the 60-day IL, it's obviously the safest move. You probably could have expected it. I guess I was really shooting for more of a late May, which obviously is what it might seem like, early June again, to get that full 12 months of recovery in there. It does take me as a little bit of surprise that they put him on the 60-day IL, but I guess, like I said, you probably could have expected it. So that is where we are. It's like he has progressed significantly, and in the reports that I've seen, there is so much there, positivity and potential for him to be a lot stronger, a lot faster, right? Coming off of his first ACL tear. Things are looking really good for Royce Lewis, and I think that this is just a very precautionary move to keep him safe and healthy so this doesn't happen again, right? He is still, I would say, the future of this organization. Him and Kirilloff, the two big guys coming in, around this time last year, they were supposed to be the big names, right? So you want to keep him healthy. You want to make sure he is okay to go, and taking an extra month or so is probably good for his own health, for the Twins. Like I said, maybe we could have expected this, but maybe still a little bit surprising, just a touch, because, like I said, it happened in June. You do want to make sure he is very healthy, and that's why they did this. But I don't know. It sounds like things are all good and moving in the positive direction. And maybe I was just super optimistic that he would only miss, maybe a month. But they want to be very cautious here. So Royce Lewis to the 60-day IL. It is official now. So start the countdown, I guess. But the corresponding move, or the reason that this move happened, was Dennis Santana. And I don't understand this move at all, okay? Like, I didn't understand the Donovan Solano move, okay? That happened like a week ago, right? This move makes less sense than that, okay? Even retrospectively, is that the correct way to put that? like Donovan Solano, if you look at the Twins roster right now, they will have Correa, Farmer, Julian, Royce Lewis, Miranda, Polanco, Solano. That's 7 infielders, okay? Now take out Royce Lewis because he's on the 60-day IL to open up another roster spot. That's 6, okay? I don't think Julian's going to play. 5. So you have shortstop Carlos Correa, 2 third basemen Farmer and Solano, which aren't they both right-handed? I don't understand that. One's a backup, I guess. But, okay, Kyle Farmer can play third. Miranda will probably play first and third, depending on where him and Kirilloff will play. And then Polanco will be your second baseman, right? That makes sense. So, again, going around the diamond, Miranda at first, platooning with Kirilloff, and then Polanco, Correa, and Farmer. Makes sense. Or Miranda, whatever. You have 2 infielders who are on your bench. Likewise, you have a catcher, and then you can figure out the outfield spots to give you your 5 or whatever total bench players. Pitching-wise, though, and why I bring this now full circle to the pitching, I can at least understand why Solano, to give you that extra bench player, right, to give you that extra guy. Pitching-wise, this makes no sense. A right-hander who will be a reliever makes 0 sense. Let's go over his stats first, and then we'll talk about the application to the roster. He is a negative WAR player in his career and last season. Last season, he had a bad season at negative .8 WAR, 3-8 on his win-loss, and a 5.22 ERA. Played in 63 games, started 1, did record 1 save, has a strikeout per inning pitched of 1, strikes out a guy per inning, and a whip of 1.33. He played with the Rangers last year. That was the team he was on. I don't know exactly what happened, if he got released, if he got traded, whatever. He ended up on the Braves, and then he got released from the Braves. So, clearly, teams are not sold on this guy. And he just never really has any significant experience. Maybe he's been in the league for 5 years. That's probably the only thing he has going for him here. But he just doesn't have anything special that I think the Twins would benefit from. He's a right-hander, okay? He's 6'2", 190, great, but he's a right-hander, 26 years old. Maybe they're thinking he's right in his prime. He'll be 27 this year. This is a one more opportunity before you get released kind of thing. But I just don't understand. He's cheap. Okay, maybe that's the benefit that we can go on. He's cheap. He is a right in his prime-ish age kind of guy. He's been here for 5 years. He has some experience. Maybe let's give him one more chance to do something with the Twins before he just gets, again, released and maybe finds another team or just completely falls out of the MLB. This is kind of where I line up, right? You've got your starters. I don't see him being a starter at all. Like I said, maybe what has he started? A few games in his career? He started 1 game in his career. That's it. And it was last season. Crazy. Probably an opener kind of strategy, I would assume. 1 game in his career. He will not be a starter. The Twins already have 7 starters that they can use. Of course, Paddock is going to be injured, so now you're down to 6. But you have 6 starters. Okay, they will probably use 6 starters at least at the beginning of the season, I would say. If not, you're going to go 5 still, okay? So you have a 40-man roster, 25, 26 spots that you can put on opening day. A fifth of them are already your starters. Obviously, every position player and 5 backups. Now you're at 19. So you have 6, 7, 8 relievers, okay? Let's just go through the roster here, and I'll name you 7 guys who I think will definitely be relievers. Alcala, 1. Duran, 2. Griffin Jacks, 3. Lopez, 4. Let's go McGill, 5. Moran, 6. Pagan, 7. Thielbar, 8. There you go. Where does he fit? And I didn't even name Sands. I didn't name Ober. I think Ober is probably going to be a starter. I didn't name Ober in that. I don't see Sands sticking around a long time, to be completely honest. Those are probably your biggest relievers. I don't think I'm missing really anyone else. Maybe Josh Winder. Maybe. So that's like 8 or 9 guys who are at least at the level that Dennis Santana is, I would say, right? That level is pretty low, and I don't want to knock him too bad, but he just has not had a career that is, I would say, worthy of what the Twins need right now. And I think that is why maybe I'm the most upset here. Sorry I've gone on a little bit too long, but the reason I'm most upset is we were just talking about the Twins needing a lefty, right? Brad Hand is available, and I think he's still available. He's a hometown guy. He's actually got pretty good statistics. He carried the the Phillies to the World Series like on that team, right? He contributed. You already need left-handed pitchers. You're going to roll with Varlin, or sorry, not Varlin. You're going to roll with Thielbar, and you're going to roll with, who's the other one? Moran, right? Those are 2 lefties. Now you have 6 or 7 righties. That just doesn't work, right? So out of everything that I just said, let's say he sticks around. Okay, I guess I don't know where you put him. If he doesn't stick around, he's just your guy that you're filling a roster spot with until you get somebody else. Maybe they're still in negotiations with Hand, but this guy was available for $1 million. He's really cheap. Let's go get him for now in case we can't get Hand or something else. Like, that's the only thing. He would be the first guy cut situation. And like, as much as I said that about Solano, like, hey, he could be the first guy out when Royce Lewis comes back or they pull somebody up or whatever, this guy would be the first guy out on the roster. I just don't see a spot for him. There's 6 to 7 to 8 starters. There's not enough room for them, right? How are you going to just go pick up a guy who struggles this much unless you give him that one shot in spring training? All right, we're in spring training. We have a month left to go before the season. A lot can happen with injury and moving pieces, but this makes less sense than I don't have anything else. Like, I just don't get it. So I hope the Twins will prove me wrong on this one, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments because I am lost with this. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.